Hello everyone, welcome to Fort in the Morning. Today, we're going to use an interesting skin. This is a skin that I really don't care for in terms of the source material, aka I do not watch the show, but I did think the skin was too cool, so, I had to give it a try. Today we're playing as Mecha Morty? Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I absolutely do not like the Rick and Morty show. Like, I tried to get into it, it just wasn't for me. I prefer Jimmy Neutron. But I will say, Fortnite absolutely hit gold with this character concept. Morty, he's too short to be a character. So they gave him a mech suit. And it was awesome. They gave him a mech suit to compensate for the height. And I absolutely love the fact that this is now a Fortnite the skin walk around. Basically, all you do is you take a character who's too short, give him a mech. He doesn't have to be an actual robot mech. I think the bear, that weird slop bear, did fairly well. So now, this is a concept we can use for two short characters. A character I'd like to see with this kind of dynamic would be Stewie Griffin. I actually like Family Guy, and I love the concept of him building a mech suit. And him having his little helmet, that little blue one with a yellow visor, of him going in there and onto a mech suit and running around shooting a bunch of people. Family Guy's already in Smash Bros. So why not? I actually saw someone make a concept like this for freaking... What's his name? Oh yeah, the man, the myth, the SpongeBob. Imagine how cool it'd be if they added SpongeBob to Smash. No wait, not Smash. Fortnite. Actually, and Smash would also be pretty cool. Imagine if they added SpongeBob to Fortnite, but he uses his bubbles to make a body move around and shoot things. And yes, his little character skin, specifically the wallpaper for weapons, it just turns them into bubbles. It would be perfect. No, wait. If not bubbles, make them wrapped like Krabby Patties. Like, it just has a freaking Krusty Krab wrap on it. You gotta admit, that would be funny. Yeah, there's no way they're going to have freaking what's-his-face here. How do you run in this game? Let's move. While we're on the topic of this, I just found out that there is a chance Fortnite is gonna finally unvault skins from their battle pass. And all I can say is, it's about time. There are so many skins that I wanted, but I never had access to. For example, I wanted to get the entirety of the Meowscles set, not the traditional Meowscles, the kit set. Specifically, I have Cat, which is basically the female version, which is essentially his sister. Fun fact about said sister is she's the same as Morty here, where she has a little a mech suit. But the biggest difference here is that the mech suit is more futuristic. It looks like something you'd see in a futuristic show. Simply put, as futuristic as it looks, it's honestly still pretty cool, and in the item shop it's actually floating. Well, not anymore because it was only on a crew thing. But Kit's version was more scrappy. Like, it was something out of a Mad Max movie. And I liked it. And I really wish that I can still get it because it was in a season that I wasn't that active on. And said season is completely gone now. Until now. If the rumors are true. Let's see now. According to the map, it says that my buried treasure should be around here. Speaking of buried treasure, anyone notice how quickly they just erased Pirates of the Caribbean? Like, it's not in the item shop or anything anymore. Huh. What a shame. Sacred Terrador. Yo, buddy, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, Sacred Terrador. This guy is a really close friend of mine. Really cool. A bit ironic of you to join me out of nowhere right here. I'm using a skin that ironically, that as much as I like the concept of it, I do not like the OG source material. I'm basically playing as Morty, specifically Mecha Morty. The only reason I chose this skin is because I like the concept of a small character in a giant mech suit to be in proportional human standard, so that way they have a fair chance without a tiny hitbox. It's funny, like I said, I don't like Rick and Morty, but I love this concept so much. I had to get it when they tried it on frickin' on Kit. It was basically a cat, but the same thing. Anyway, so fun thing about this is I actually invited... Was never my cup of tea either, no worries. Yeah, honestly, it felt like it was trying too hard. I'm sorry, guys. Honestly, if you want a good science-themed sci-fi show, try Jimmy Neutron. Still watch it to this very day. You know that running joke that people say Rick and Morty makes you smarter? Yeah, Jimmy Neutron is basically just that. Granted, I was like in elementary school, and when I watched it, I'm pretty sure most people knew what those stuff was, but I don't know, it just made you feel smarter. You learned along with Jimmy, you know? So, oh yeah, on top of that, the reason I brought him here is because, oh crap! Yes, I'm driving around in a cyber truck. It's funny, isn't it? We gotta get out. Would Phineas and Ferb be considered sci-fi? I don't see why not. Yeah. Two boys inventing stuff. Like, that is as sci-fi as you can get. Honestly, I'm surprised there was never a honestly, that would make an epic crossover. Dan Povenmire, get to work. Anyway, so, funny thing, the reason I recommended him to come over here is because of one thing. We're in a bit of a bind here, a bit of a disagreement over is Go a good character or not. I feel like this way I'd be able to talk much more efficiently and get my point across. So, what did I not like about Go? Let's see. Does this thing even walk? Well, for starters, in the show, it always felt like the two of them were always fighting over the spotlight. Not like physically in the show, but like the structure of the show itself never really felt, I don't know, fluent. It always felt like it didn't know who to follow to. It felt like two protagonists with two different stories that didn't have much, you know, correlation to each other. It always felt like these two should have just been... Ah, shoot. It always felt like they should have just been in their own TV shows separately. You said he's an overpowered OC. Yeah, that too. Like, come on. The fact that he's basically doing what fans complain that Ash should be doing, catching every single Pokemon, it always felt weird. Like, think about that for a minute. Ash throws a Pokeball at a Deerling. It bats it right back. He gets completely talked down to, saying, "You idiot, you have to battle it first." Meanwhile, Go just goes, "Overhand toss! Swoley toss!" Or whatever. You know, I know it's a reference to Pokemon Go because, you know, throwing it a certain way improves your chances, but, you know, Ash is out here actually walking hard, and Go just gets lucky almost every single time when he's catching a Pokemon. It never really feels dissolved, you know? It just feels like he just casually is better. Like, I get it, he's just collecting them, but at the same time, like, frickin' Ash struggled over a Pidgeot and a Caterpie. He had to battle it, he had to weaken it, and all that stuff. And Go just wins. Like, he just wins. It's like the heaviest bit of plot armor I've ever seen. To be fair, Go really had to work to earn the loyalty of the Pokemon he caught. Well, that's the thing, though. He doesn't have any relationship with his Pokemon. Like, yeah, maybe... Like, don't get me wrong, Scorbunny is probably the only Pokemon he actually worked with, and, you know, considering the fact that it coincidentally also had a Charizard phase, being a popular Fire-type starter, I will say, unfortunately, it never really lasted too long, and it didn't have as much impact as Ash did. And while I shouldn't be comparing him to Ash, the biggest problem is that he doesn't have a relationship with his Pokemon. Like, it's all just Scorbunny and Cinderace, and they appear every once in a while, but it never really had an impact. Like, yeah, he had a few scenes with Sobble, but that thing didn't really do anything other than sit there and look cute. He had a few... He entered a Squirvit in a eating contest. It's pretty much all we get out of it. But at the same time, compare that to Ash and his his main relationships were his 3 Galar starters he kept in active rotation on his personal team. Well, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, every Pokemon he caught, I'm not saying he needs to build a bond with every single one of them, but I don't know, it just kind of feels like he coincidentally never needs to deal with that. I mean, even Ash's minor Pokemon felt like they had more of a connection with them. I mean, freaking, when you saw Bye Bye Butterfree, it had an impact. Even because it was his first Pokemon, he was excited when it evolved. Seeing that thing actually go, realizing it had consequences, that had impact. Heck, even something like Scraggy, the Pokemon he raised from an egg, where he basically had to go through the fact that it had little to no moveset, training it into a powerhouse. Also, I feel like it should have evolved into Scrafty. Like, come on. It would have been the perfect setup. A little wild child maturing in the big scene, in the big final battle in the Unova League. Okay, maybe not the final, but like, still, have at least one scene with it where it faces off against any of his trainers, it evolves and it does something epic. I feel like that would have been epic for Scrafty. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, Scraggy had felt more in tune with Ash than most of Go's Pokemon catches. Sobble ends up gaining confidence and evolving. Remember, Ash is a prodigy at working with Pokemon. Where he had to learn to be good at battling, he rarely had issues bonding with the Pokemon he caught, except Charmeleon and Krokorok. Honestly, I feel like the difference was Krokorok just didn't know it wanted to be caught. But at that point, the two of them were at the same route, and Krokorok was just awesome. I'm sorry. Like, that guy was a beast. That was why I put him on my X and Y team. But, okay, maybe that makes sense. Ash is better at bonding with his Pokemon. Go is better at catching them. Okay. But the problem is, it never really feels like a flaw that is actually explored. Like, imagine if Ash gave him some tips and pointers on how to talk to the Pokemon every now and then, or how to bond with them. I felt like it would have been better. Plus, oh wait, speaking of better, yeah! Oh man, I forgot the badass music. You're not getting me out of this one. Let's see here. Shoot. But do you have a way to get back? Ash did have to show him? Oh, really? I guess I just missed that episode. Okay, fair point. Let's see. What else did I hate about him? Yeah, I'm sorry, but when Ash catches a legendary, it's never like he just catches some big beast because he's just that good. No. It felt like he had to earn it. Like, you said he caught a Naganadel. I remember that in Sun and Moon, but he basically raised it from when it was a baby, didn't he? And then it evolved into that big poisonous dragon beast, or poison steel type, whatever it was. It never felt like he just grabbed it out of nowhere. You know, it felt like an overtime build-up. It happened a handful of times, just not every episode. Let's see. Okay, another thing, hey Secretarador, would you consider playing Fortnite? Like, I'd legit love to play a few games with you. I'd be willing to give you some V-Bucks just so you can buy a skin of your own, honestly. Anyway, let's see, what else was I saying? Yeah, something about him being an overpowered OC. He raised Poipole, Meltan, and Cosmog into their legendary forms. Yeah, so, yeah, compare that to the fact that Ash, he's seen Suicune many times. He's never gone out to catch it. Or if he has, he fails. Meanwhile, Go just, I don't know, he just cures it from poison or something, and now, out of nowhere, they're all buddy-buddy. Not my style of game. I'd love to teach you, but I mean, it's your thing at the end of the day. Or just look at an image of Penny and then you'll be all for it, trust me. Nah, that's too simplistic. You'd want someone cooler. Maybe a Pokemon skin. Yeah, I'd get you one of those if they had it. Anyway, so like I was trying to say, Go just never clicked with me. It never felt like he earned what he caught. Plus, I'm sorry, but that little guy had protagonist entitlement up the bass. Like, really? You reject a Spore Bunny who followed you just to go, nah, I want to catch Mew. Like, jeez. Could you be any more entitled? Like, good lord. I think, good lord, even Damien, I feel like that's something freaking Damien would say. Not 100% sure why, but he didn't. I guess, but I don't know. Something about having Go, this noob, just walk in and just do everything better than Ash, except for battling. I don't know. It kind of feels like when someone tries to make an OC, but their biggest flaw is they're shy or something. You know? It doesn't feel right. Dang it! Yeah, Go was a brat at the start, but he slowly humbled out slowly over the series. You know what? Normally I end things here, but I kind of want to keep this conversation going just because of how interesting it is. And I think I have the perfect skin. One sec. This is going to be a bit of a something we don't really do all the time. It's going to be more of a bonus one. But we rarely get to talk like this, voice to... Well, actually, without any one of us using a voice. But, yeah, I'm not going to lie. Also, the fact that he gets a freaking shiny and everyone acknowledges it as shiny, that was... I get he gets a freaking Noctowl, but I don't know. It just never felt the same, you know? I'm sorry, but Go just never clicked with me. He just felt like, how do I put this? Yeah, I know, Ash had a Noctowl, but it just didn't have as much of an impact. I kind of wish he at least brought it back to show Go or something. I mean, it's literally the most... Oh yeah, he has that Pokemon, even though it's a freaking shiny. I don't know, maybe that's just a thing to the writing in general. Anyway. Yeah, that's what I... actually, not just a self-insert character. Go felt like both a self-insert character and a focus-tested character. You know, like, they wanted to get things... They cherry-picked things from Ash. They put into a different character, while at the same time altering it to things that they thought people would want more. And it just didn't click for me, I guess. Let's see. Give me a minute. I need to make a few phone calls right now. Hello, is this Slope Tech? No, that's not what you call yourselves. Yeah, I need to get the battle in, but unfortunately I died. Can I... Okay. Yes. Yes, thanks. A sponsor? Alright, I'd love to. Alright. I'll battle while advertising. Thank you. No, this doesn't count as selling out. No. I'm playing your game! Alright, thanks. I'll see. Thanks. Anyway. Yeah, honestly... Well, Pokemon's writing isn't exactly perfect. I will admit, to say that it doesn't really have anything does seem a bit wrong. Anyway, dang, really, man? Like this shortly? Well, that's a real shame, honestly. You think you have time for one last battle? I really like talking to you like this. It feels not intimate, but, you know, better communication-wise. Yeah, so in short, I'm sure Go has its appeal, but at the same time, maybe what's really stopping me isn't just not liking Go. How long are they? How long was the last match? They're like 30 minutes or so. What do you think? Yeah, about 30 minutes. Not so bad. So like I was saying, I don't know, maybe the problem is Go to me, or at the very least I just didn't like that. But maybe the problem honestly isn't Go itself, it's how he was handled. Hear me out. I would have loved Go if they made him his own character in his own series. Like, remember Marin's Pokemon journey? That girl who followed Alon everywhere with the chest spin? Like, imagine if they did something like that, where they had him more set up and more in his own different series. That way we can actually somehow get both Ash Ketchum battling. Oh, shoot! I almost forgot to change the scene back. Behold, the skin I chose. Sponsored by Slope. It's Slope Peabody. Slope. It shields you when you're about to get shot. Name another drink that can do that. Yeah, basically this is a in-brand thing in Fortnite. Slurp is basically these things you drink that give you shield. Marilyn was a major missed opportunity. Yeah, the biggest problem with her was that they gave her like 4 episodes. Though I will admit, Marilyn's Mega Evolution Journal was freaking cute as hell. Seeing her and Chibi Allen, or Alon, whatever, just talking about how a Pokemon walks in Mega through their Pokedex, I felt like was charming, to say the least. At the same time, I always felt like it deserved its own show. Just like Go. I felt like if he had his own series running in the background... I mean, come on, the title's right there. Pokemon Let's Go. Call it Go with his name. Make it a more chill series. One where it's less about trying to battle and more just catching and maybe even trading Pokemon. I don't know. You know, this will be more casual while Ash is the more competitive side. Heck, we'd finally be able to see him get a journey through Galar. That alone would be enough to sell me on the pitch. But the biggest... I feel like yeah, just give Go his own series and it wouldn't feel like he's piggybacking off of Ash while at the same time trying to fight for the spotlight. In fact, I'd argue that if they did crossovers like that, it would have been way better. She got 4 episodes, then her Chespin got Zygarde AIDS and was out of commission. Oh god, yeah, that sucked. Hear me out. A spin-off series with a different main character. A spin-off series with a different main character every episode, just exploring the daily lives of humans in the world of... That's genius! You know, I actually have a concept in mind for Pokemon characters. Top 10 side characters that deserve their own Pokemon series. Or at the very least, episode or special. I mean, think about it. I mean, if they can give Go, the average, everyday, casual guy, a big part in the show, there's definitely a bunch of characters that could do that. For example, let's see, what was his name? Holy! Haha, it's my call now! Let's see. Remember Virgil from Unova? That guy was awesome. That guy is basically an Eevee trainer done peak. Basically, imagine a spin-off series with him, where what he does is he basically goes on a Pokemon rescue mission every episode, and he has an Eevee to help him out with it. Like, dude, this guy was awesome. I want to see a spin-off series with him. I feel like he deserves his own side story. Then again, if we're going just like one episode to get appeal, I would love to see Bianca. Remember Stefan for Unova? That dude was based. I don't see... Okay, he's interesting, but I don't know what about him would be enough to be a full episode. I don't know, maybe there's something I forgot. Yeah, I feel like good old Stefan would love to, I feel like he does have potential, I just forgot what it was. That's on me. I don't know, you pitch it to me. What could Stefan do? 2. For me. Let's see, who else would I add? Actually, Bianca. Like, we don't... I feel like the fact that she's so klutzy, and for some reason I always got the impression that she was older than Ash. Like, have you seen that one scene where she goes up to Ash saying that she made an appointment to battle Elisa? She towers over him. Like, in the games, I can believe her being a 10-year-old, but the way they put her next to him, she feels like some college kid who just became 20 for the first time and is trying their best to be an adult but fails miserably. And considering the fact that she was always kept and very protected by her father, I can see that being a reasonable struggle. Honestly, I never expected the concept of a mature Pokemon series about not maturing fast enough with Bianca. Actually, I never thought that could hit heavy, but thinking about it, the concept of her realizing she didn't grow up like everyone else, that can honestly be an interesting series, or at the very least, an interesting episode. Fascinating, really. Let's see. Not gonna lie, even Trip, I feel like he deserves his own series. Like, I know that he was infamous for being the most quote-unquote basic rival, but I love the idea of a rival that beated Ash, not because he was some hardcore beast who was training and one-upped him in everything like Gary or Paul, but a guy who wasn't even trying. Like, I don't know, something about a guy who goes up to you and said, yeah, I beat you. You wasn't really hard. I mean, you kind of sucked at everything. That, I feel like that's a bit more rage-inducing than a typical person, but it would be interesting to see what about that. What about a series of Pokemon's lives before him? Oh, that would actually be cool as well. Honestly, I just thought of a funny idea of an April Fool's episode where it's just Scraggy's origin before he met Ash. It's just a 30-minute shot of his egg. And then at the end, you finally see the woman pick it up and go, here, Ash, you can keep this. But yeah, in all seriousness, I would love to see what exactly happened when Chimchar was with Paul, or Charmander with Damien, or Bulbasaur when he was fighting with that woman to protect the garden. At the same time, it would be pretty cool to see Sandile out here being the little ground general that he was before. Seriously, that dude was a beast. And who else? I mean, there were stories of Froakie. Honestly, I feel like that one's probably the most obvious. Maybe save that for like a finale. Hear me? Okay, now, I don't know, what other Pokemon do you think would be cool to see? Also, can we just agree that Suwaddle was precious? Suwaddle was a precious little bean, and I loved it. Also, it became Leavanny, which was a Pokemon that I had in my Unova team the first time I played. So seeing Ash suddenly just have that, I don't know, it just clicked different. Also, it took me a while to realize that Ash's Leavanny was male. It was just feminine as hell, because, I don't know, that's just the nature of it. Wait, what about some episodes? Oh wait, I already read that. What's a Pokemon you'd like to see before Ash caught it? What about... Hear me out. Who else is a good character? I love how we're over here casually talking Pokemon characters and dynamics and whatnot. Meanwhile, I'm just casually shooting people in what is essentially a Mad Max version of the Warthog from Halo. Okay, here, let's see. I don't know. Man. I don't know. What are some Pokemon that you'd recommend, Sacred Terrador? If you're still here. I'd also prefer, if you're gonna leave, tell me here rather than Discord. Makey or breaky. Considering the fact that they already did one of those with Pikachu, with him in the Kangaskhan Mom pouch, I feel like they have a lot of potential in this. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like that's a pitch for the two of us. If you ever want to do a collab, I feel like us doing one on these two concepts of a series, it would be interesting. We pick like one character a generation. Or, what do you think? Should it be one character per generation that should get a look into their life or a bit of a mini spin-off series? Or should it be one list, but each of the generations. You know, when we're on the topic of Virgil, that cool Eevee trainer guy, you know an Eevee trainer I absolutely hate? Chloe. Like, I absolutely hate that she was hyped up that she was gonna have what is essentially, what was his name? That little electronic corgi Pokemon? I hated that she was hyped up that she was going to get that Pokemon. Can you remind me what it's called? It looked like a corgi, but it had a little electric heart on its butt or something. Yeah, what I hated about her was she was hyped up that she was gonna have that Pokemon. And honestly, it felt so real when she did. There was this big moment when a Pokemon broke in, and let's see, it was Boltund, but then it evolved from Yampa. That was its name, right? Yampa? Yeah, so basically Yampa defended her, and they made it this big deal that Yampa would only respond to her. And it felt like a genuine moment, like how Lily did with her Vulpix Snowy. But for some reason, like this big scene, Yampa only responds to you. It felt like she actually had a connection with a Pokemon. A Pokemon that would actually, show her why they actually do have an impact, why everyone is obsessive over them. It's because of a sense of friendship. But no, she just throws it out and is instantly with an Eevee instead. Like, did that mean nothing? Did they forget about Yampa? Like, now she's just some chick with an Eevee now. And not even a memorable chick with an Eevee like Penny or, like, even Mikey, that little boy with the flying Eevee brothers. Like, even he was better. And she just gets an Eevee and whatnot, and that's it. You just never hear from Yampa again. Like, if there was any Pokemon who I felt like was put in the box metaphorically, even if you didn't see it, it would definitely be that Yampa. Poor fellow. They did him dirty. On top of that, he was a freaking... On top of that, Yampa was a Pokemon that was from Galar, and yet they still wanted a piece of that Kanto pie. What the heck? Man, Yampa deserves some justice, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just never hit. I don't know, it always felt like when they put that Eevee in there whose whole shtick was it didn't want to evolve, it felt like they've done that already and whatnot, and can we move on? Its whole shtick with Chloe was literally just, oh hey, we don't know what we want to be. Which kind of felt a bit cliche at this point. Like, I feel like Serena did it better. I do have to get going. Sorry, dude. It's okay, man. Thanks for staying. Honestly, every second you were here, it made the whole thing felt more impactful and reasonable. Anyway, I hope I was able to get my point across and whatnot. Thank you for being civilized about not liking journeys. There's a lot of people who wouldn't do that. Thank you. And see ya, man. Pet that pet golden retriever that you're babysitting extra for me, man. They're good boys or girls or whatever it is. Until next time, see ya. Anyone still watching? You still watch Pokemon? Sorry. Let's see. Thankfully, we were able to survive all this. All thanks to Slurp Juice. It puts a shield over your body even if it looks more like a potion. Slurp Juice. It'll help you and keep you from dying. If they ever add Sokka into Fortnite, I want to see him do a Cactus Juice meme, but instead it's with Slurp Juice. Yeah, that would rock. Fucking B-dubs. Let's see. We may be able to win thanks to Peabody. Though, Morty, he's dead. Agreed. Yeah, is she's slipped into it. She can't really put it to good use. She's not that. And that was awesome. I'm just gonna say it. Okay, guys, it's the final battle. You know what that means. Because this is the final countdown. Never mind. I got killed by this guy. I did better than last time. It was all worth it to talk with you guys. Anyway, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to keep on working on some of my content. Until next time, this is EndoGeo, tuning out.